Hi, everybody. As you may know, it is time for our SLO. So if you are new to our campus, I have made you this short video to help you guys complete your SLO for your course. What I will be describing for you would be for Bio 250. However, the process, the steps that are involved are identical for all courses. The only thing that would be different is the SLO questions that you need to assess your students on. So it's we're going to start by basically logging to our web advisor, and then go to your faculty tab. And from there, under faculty information, click on SB Valley SLO submission. So it opens a page for you labeled as SLO submission form. Go ahead and select your semester. So for us, it's fall 21. Then it would fill up the rest of the information based on basically the login that you already have. The only thing you need to select at this point is selecting the section that you are teaching. So in this case, I have been teaching Bio 250 and there were 4 sections. So I have 4 that needs to be submitted. So I can click on one of these and it will open a screen similar to what you see here. If you have been teaching other courses, it will pop up right here. So you have another tab to select from, and then the sections that you have taught. For instance, you could have Bio 155, Bio 250, 261, etc. here with the corresponding section number. So the first thing that you guys are going to do to complete this form is fill up this section, assessment methods and criteria. What we're looking for here is basically how did you assess your students on the listed SLO below? It doesn't have to be paragraphs long. I usually write it as my SLO 1, for instance, was an exam question that was given as part of lecture exam 2. Students who passed this essay question with 75% will be considered as those who met the SLO, and any student who scored below that 75 percentile would basically have failed the SLO. So for instance, if we are doing an essay question for the assessment of the SLO, anybody that received a 7.5 point on that question would get a met SLO, or will be included in students who have met our SLO goal versus those who didn't earn a 7.5 or better score. You could have those questions as your multiple choice in your lecture exam, which just simply would be, did your student get it correct or not? It could be your assessment for the SLO could be a lab report or questions, multiple questions in your lab reports or your lab assignments. And again, you guys set up your own standards. I usually assume that 75% or better will be considered a passing SLO, or students who have earned 75% or better have met the SLO. The next thing you guys are going to do is basically look at your data, look at the information that you have that's collected over the semester, enter the number of students that you have completing that assessment in the first place, and then how many of those have met the SLO. Please do note that these numbers may differ depending on what part of the semester the assessment was completed. Typically, as you may know, at the beginning of the semester, you're going to have a higher number of participants. And as the semester moves on, the participation number or your student number is going to decrease. So if you have fluctuation in the percent of or the number of a student assessed, that is okay. The last thing you're going to do is complete the reflection portion. It's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, what we're asking is, if your student did well, what did you do that you think helped your students do well in that assessments or understand the concept described in the SLO? If your student do require improvement, what are the tactics or strategies that you are going to implement for the following semester that may benefit your students? You can also identify learning gaps that you may have seen from your students. And again, identifying components or techniques that may help your student improve in that process. When you guys are completed with this section, you can go ahead and click Save and Submit. By the end of this process, all you need to do again is if you have multiple SLOs or you have taught multiple courses, what you need to do is basically go back up here. If I was completing this SLO right here, it would say submitted. Instead of saying never, it would give me a date that for when the assessment was submitted. And you're also going to receive an email that states you have completed the SLO for the course. Again, make sure that you guys complete the SLO by the deadline. You can do all of them in one sitting. You can do them multiple times. But if you do start a SLO, you do need to complete and submit it. Other than that, I think that's it. So it's pretty straightforward. If you guys do have any questions or concern, please make sure that you shoot me an email and I'll be happy to help you guys.